everyone, and welcome to this video. Today we are going to be adding a status bar to our Tkinter window over here. Okay, so we're going to be adding a status bar right at the bottom here, and we also might be adding a little icon here as well if we have time. So in the previous video we added some functionality. So when we went to help and clicked about us, it gave us a little message box. Okay, so what does it say? It says this is an MP3 player made by IT guys in PyCharm. Obviously you guys would have written something else because it's not written by just me, it's written by you guys as well. And after that, if we try to press the play button, it says file not found. MP3 player could not find a file specified. Please open an existing file. So we had to go to open and press open, select our music, and then we could play it. Okay, so that worked, and then when we press exit, it exits of the player. So what we're going to do today, as I told you before, we are going to be adding a status bar. Now there is no widget in Tkinter called a status bar, so what we have to do is we have to actually make it ourselves using text and make it look more like a status bar. So under this volume scale which we created in probably the fifth video, probably, who knows, we are going to create a status bar. So I'm going to say status bar, so just that's our variable, is equal to label or text, you can call it, but there's no widget called text, it's called a label. We want to display this one on root. I'm gonna say the text is equal to, and it should say welcome to MP3 player. And yeah, and after we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to pack it onto the screen. Status bar is equal to, not equal to, status bar dot pack, and run it. And now we've got this text, but when it's at the bottom, it doesn't really it just looks like some normal text. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it at the bottom and make the background white so it stands out like this menu bar. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the background white. So I'm going to say status bar dot configure. So not config, because there is a something called config. It's configure. So I'm going to say the BG is equal to white, or you can also say the background is equal to white. So if I want that, so background, if I spelled that correctly. Nope, I didn't. So if we just do that and run it, we can actually kind of faintly see that it is white. Okay, so it's very faint. You might not see it, but mine has actually got white background. So I'm just going to change this to BG for now because I like to keep things short. So BG is equal to white. So now, as you see here, it still doesn't look like a status bar because status bars are at the bottom. So if we look at our PyCharm status bar here, so let's say we're hovering over file, like this, you can see at the bottom, if you look at the bottom, it says run selected configuration. Okay, so I can't really move my mouse there, otherwise it will go away, but that's that the status bar should be at the bottom. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to say, so in this pack area, we are going to say side is equal to bottom, so all caps. And it is at the bottom, but now this it shouldn't be in the middle, it should be on the left. So what we need to do is, instead of saying side is equal to left, because if we say that it's going to confuse, we're going to say where we create it, anchor is equal to W. Now the reason I wrote W is because Tkinter takes it in a specific direction. So north would be this way. South, east would be right. South would be down, and west would be left, and you want it towards the left side. So that is why we put the anchor as W. Now if we do it, if we run this, it's still not at the left side. Okay, so why is it not at the left side? So basically the reason it's not at the left side is because we also need to kind of expand it along the bottom as well. So like if I give you an example, we need to make this white background of this text expand along the bottom. So that is actually really easy too. We just need to say fill is equal to X, capital X actually. Run it, and now it has come to the left and it is filled from left to right. Okay, so let's actually see what would happen if it says fill Y. Okay, so nothing actually happens. Probably because these are in the way, so it can't really fill. But otherwise, if they weren't in the way, it would. Okay, but for now, we're going to set the fill to X because we want it to look like a status bar and not some random thing. Okay, so yeah, so we've put it at the bottom, and that is what we wanted. So now that we have done that, we have got our perfect status bar. I'm just gonna add a little icon over here as well. So this is also pretty easy. We just need to use a photo image for this. So I'm gonna say status bar photo is equal to photo image. The file is equal to, I called it a status bar image.png. If I show you the status bar image, actually, it's as you can see, it's really pixelated because it's actually really small. It's probably like about 16 by 16 pixels. Okay, yeah, it's about that size. So if you hover over here, you can see that it's tiny 16 by 16 pixels over here. So what we want to do is we want to convert this into a label like we did with that, like we do with photo. So status bar photo is equal to label. So actually not status bar photo, we can't use that again. We're going to call the status bar label. So you have to convert it into a label if you just want a plain display on the screen and not convert it into a button. So we want this label to display on the screen, and the image is equal to the status bar photo. And I'm gonna say status bar label dot configure. I'm gonna set the background to white so it blends in with the status bar and it doesn't look weird. And now here comes the hard bit, the positioning. So we're not gonna actually pack onto screen. We're gonna use something called place because I'm going to place the icon at the bottom corner over here of my screen, so it's kind of in line with the status bar. So what you can do is you need to write status bar dot place, not status bar, sorry, status bar label dot place, and obviously we need some parameters. So rel y is equal to 1.0, and rel x is also equal to 1.0. X is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, and the anchor is equal to SE. Okay, so what do all of these mean? So the rel y means the relief of the y coordinate of our image. Rel x is the relief of the x coordinate. X is the x coordinate. So 0 would be here at this bottom corner. So 0 is the x, 0 is the y. Anchor is southeast, so that would position it to the bottom. So if we look at this now, we see we've got this little status bar image. It is exactly what we wanted. So now that we have done that, we don't want this status bar to keep on saying welcome to MP3 player throughout the whole thing. You want it to do something when we click the play button or click the stop button, okay? So just like this status bar in PyCharm, if you hover over run, it says run selected configuration. If you hover for debug, it says debug selected configuration, edit application settings, and so on and so forth. So we are going to change it, and actually this is pretty easy. So in this play music section, what we are going to do is we need to say, so right under we try to play the music, so right here we are going to say status bar, and we in our status bar we want to index to the text parameter. Okay, so now our text, we are going to set this text to be equal to playing music. Okay, that is what it's going to say. So now let's run this and see if it works. So we open, press start. Okay, so notice it says playing music, but now when I stop the music, it's still saying playing music. It wanted to obviously stop, so we can just copy this, what we wrote here, and paste it under here. And we want this, instead of saying playing music, we're gonna write music stopped. Okay, and then we run this. Let's see if it works. Play. Stopped. Okay, so now it's saying music stopped and it's working. If we play again, stop, play, stop. Okay, so that is working now. Now what we're going to do is when we play the music, we want, so listen, look at the bottom. When we're playing the music, it's not specifying what music we're playing, so we want to actually specify the actual file. So to do this, we are going to import something called OS. So if we go to the top here, under this, I'm going to say import OS, and right in the play section, so right here, we are going to write down, so here, over here, where we do our status bar bit, we are going to say playing music plus, so we're going to concatenate that with a dash, and we are going to say plus os dot path, I believe. Yeah, it should be that. os dot path file name. So yeah, os dot path file name should work. If it doesn't, then he obviously did something wrong. File open. Play. Okay, so now basically that just locked it because this isn't working. So I think it should be okay. So we're not going to use OF right now. So we're going to do playing music plus dash and then file name. So Shift F10 and file open. We're going to open our journey.wave. Play. So look, as you can see here, there's like a gigantic path there, and we don't want that there. So what we're going to do is we're going to say os.path.basename and put brackets around our file name. So now it should just give the name. So Shift F10 to run. File, open, play. So now it's just saying the just specific files. So that is what OS does. It's mostly about paths and stuff like that. So we found a base name and put it right there so our user of this MP3 player knows what file it's playing, and yeah, so it knows that. So well done, guys. Today you guys have learned how to create a status bar, and you guys have also learned how to change it when the music is playing and stopping. So well done, guys, for doing that. If you have any comments or doubts, please comment them in the comment section below. If you want the music status bar image that I used today, I'll put the link in this description so you can download it. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I guess that's the end of this video. Bye!